Well, white's pawn would be on d4. Then it would be a completely standard position. Somehow white chose to play this move d3. A little bit more passive, no, Simon? I mean, d4, more standard move.
Yeah, it can actually be more. It can be more aggressive sometimes because after d5, white often tries to play e4 at the right moments. If white can somehow arrange the move e4 to break up this pawn formation, it's quite good. But I think actually, yeah, I mean, I think you're right. It does seem a bit strange now because Queen c2 was played, and well, this looks very odd because now knight c6, and often you don't need to play the move c6 as in typical stone wall. Knight c6 is the move you want to play, and you can even consider going d4 and e5. And black all of a sudden plays with the white pieces because he controls the center. So can you explain
to us, Simon, why, let's say, if black put another pawn in the center here like c5, why would that be a mistake? How would white react to that?
Yeah, I mean,
because a lot of people, aren't we taught that, we're supposed to put our pawns in the center, and here black is blocking in the c pawn with his knight?
Yeah, I mean, c5 is probably okay. Again, I think white would be going for a quick e4. This is the key to white's play. So you probably can't go e4 yet, but maybe I can go knight d2 even. Just as an idea, and I want to go e4. I'm not sure if this is a good way to play.
Knight c6.
Knight c6, and now if I go e4, you've got knight b4 probably. But let's try it. Let's try e4, because structurally, e4's a move that white wants to achieve in this position. But I don't know. E4's annoying. I mean, I don't know if necessarily the pawn of c5 helps too much. It's probably quite useful, but knight c6, the move that
I'm a little bit concerned, right? Because there's knight b4 here, Simon.
Yeah, sure.
There's knight b4. You got to go to b1.
And
you're letting me drop into d3. In fact, Simon,
yeah,
I might just be dropping into d3 right now.
Yeah,
like an unwanted guest. Yeah. Knight d3. It's kind of.
And if I go e5 here. Maybe I go e5.
Oh, can I save my knight? Knight c1, knight e2, knight comes back to d4.
Okay, that's annoying.
Let's show that.
So I was hoping, because Irina's idea is if I take the knight on d3, then
pawn f, I think. Yeah, takes
take
e4,
and you'll be perfectly well. Black
yes, this reminds me of your French defense DVDs where you show these sacrifices in a lot of lines. Black gets a big pawn center, but here you got the big pawn center, and you're already getting your piece back.
And the nice touch that Irina pointed out was after e5, which does attack two pieces, the knight on d3, knight on f6, you can save a piece by going knight takes c1. If I take on c1, you just move your knight. If I take on f6, two pieces on pre, but knight to e2 check is a good move. So yeah, so I mean, I do agree. C5 looks like a decent move.
I think c5. What I was actually concerned about with the move c5.
So c5, yeah. Okay, what move would you be concerned?
I would be concerned about something like c takes d5.
Okay, so
yeah.
C
takes ed, and maybe trying to go for a Tarrasch type of structure with the move d5, a d4.
Okay, that's interesting. That's an interesting way to play, because probably in this position I want my pawn on f5 back on f7.
Right.
And I have to admit, a number of times in the Dutch, I've played the Dutch, I don't know, thousands of times, and
you've often wanted to move your pawn back.
I often want to put this pawn back on f7, but unfortunately you play f5 nearly always on move 1 or 2, so it's very hard to put it back on f7. And you're right, actually this is an interesting idea, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, there are a lot of positions where where white wants to go into this Tarrasch structure when they have the bishop fianchettoed on g2, and what we mean by Tarrasch structure is by trading first on d5, forcing black to take back with the e-pawn because that's just the most natural recapture, and then putting their pawn on d4. So white has everything set up like they normally do in the Tarrasch. Usually their queen is on d1, but it doesn't make much of a difference. And the only difference is that black's pawn is not on f7 like it would be in the Tarrasch lines, but it's on f5, which probably just weakens black's position more than anything, because it's very hard for black to push it to f4. You do have better control over e4, though. And I'd be wondering here, I'd actually be very curious. For example, the c5 pawn is hanging, right? So black has to do something about it. And the only real reaction for black that is probably the move c4. Can black get away with such a move?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a different position, I think, and I think black might also just be okay. I mean, you can go knight to e5.
I don't think
or
you can
b3.
survive this because b3, yes. So of
b3 is
course it's a
normal.
good idea to counter any attempt by your opponent to seize any space. So b3 tries to trade off the c4 pawn, and now on b5 you can just continue with a4, and black cannot support that pawn with the move a6 because of the pin on the a file, on the a pawn. Can we draw an arrow? Do you know how to do that, Simon?
No idea.
We've been
I've
given.
tried that a number of times.
Look, it's alt and something.
Alt and okay.
Can we do it together?
Wow.
All right, this is our first arrow
Okay,
of the
yeah.
broadcast.
So I guess it's the same as chess base, but
Yeah.
I don't use chess base that often. So okay, so first arrow of the tournament. Woohoo! We know how to do arrows. Can we do squares as well?
Yeah, we can do.
Oh wow, could make some really lovely patterns now. Good, I can have so much fun now. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, you're right. This A file here.
Yeah, the A file makes it hard for black to support that space advantage that he tried to make with the move c4. So I just thought it'd be instructive for our viewers to see this way that white can transpose into the Tarrasch structures.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way Richard's played just with knight c6.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, c5 is maybe a possibility, but knight c6 just looks like such a logical move.
Well, I think c5 is just a mistake, just a logical mistake,
And the queen's on c2, so the knight now has potential to attack the queen. And black's plan here, a3, a5 was played, so we just get up to date with the moves. a3 was aiming to play b4, so black stops this with a5. And often black will actually just try to... well, there's two ways black can play this, actually. Two very good ways of playing this. You could consider going d4 with your pawn, or you could even consider taking on c4 and getting a very good classical Dutch position. So I'll just demonstrate this. If you go knight to d2, I'm assuming a move like knight to c3 is also quite a good option for white. And
well, there's d4 here, though,
yeah,
Simon.
d4, knight.
You don't think that e5 is a problem?
Then e3, and you're playing like a reverse Benoni with white. The move I'd probably always be tempted to play, d4 looks okay for black, but you can also get a very good classical Dutch position here with black by simply taking on c4, white recaptures, and now you play this e5 move. And e5 is a key move in the classical Dutch. And okay, I had a game in the same position.
There could be a little problem,
yeah?
right, with rook d1, knight d5, no?
Yeah, I mean, I had this position against the strong Polish player Wojciech. He played knight b5 here, he transposed, and well, I managed to win in 18 moves with just queen h5 here against him. He took on
knight c7 and f4.
and I just played f4.
And he took the rook.
He took my rook, and I went bishop c5. And I said, just take all my pieces, I'm going to checkmate you.
Wow.
And
Now, how is this really good for black? Being
well,
down a rook?
He resigned 4 moves later.
They'll show us the game, Simon. I hope you remember it.
No. So
You said it's only 4 more moves.
it's about, yeah, I think
approximately
maybe more than 4
how did
moves.
it go?
Maybe about 8 more moves, but okay.
What is your threat here? Can you just show us? Is it knight g4?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just literally, I'm not worried about my knights on a8. I'm just going to try to checkmate you. Knight g4, bishop h3, knight g4. It's a really strange position because you're rook and a pawn down, and you're just playing like a complete lunatic.
How come you're not afraid to play chess this way, Simon?
It looks like a perfectly good way to play. It looks like fun. I've still played chess like this, given a chance, but often my opponents don't take the rook. They try to do something a bit more sensible. But I think it went knight c7, and I can't remember if it went knight g4 here or bishop h3. Maybe just bishop h3. Strange. And if something like knight d5, knight g4 is the kind of crazy position you're trying to get. I can't remember. It's quite strange looking at it from the white perspective as well, because the ball's not the other way around. But this is kind of general idea. And even though you're rook and a pawn down, or your piece attacking. Okay, so maybe that's why white took on d5 in this position. This could be the reason to stop black from taking on c4. And now,
well, he's obviously going to take with the e-pawn. I can't imagine him taking with a piece.
And
now I wonder if white doesn't want to play the move d4.
Okay, d4.
Does it make sense? To me it makes some sense because I don't know if I really want to wait around. I mean, I suppose you can play knight c3 if you're not afraid of d4 because of knight b5.
Yeah, knight c3 looks quite dynamic, and given a chance again, you go for this e4 possibility here. E4 is kind of a move that white will often play. Black's very well positioned though. I think black's pieces are quite active here. E takes d5, sorry. Yeah,
well, white's position should be better. Just a more sound position. There's more weakness in black structure here.
Yeah,
the pawn and f5.
Okay, need a good plan for black here. So yeah, I mean, I think d4, knight b5 looks like quite a good idea for white.
It looks like there's free pressure coming, you know, bishop f4,
Yeah.
queen c4.
Yeah.
You're starting to win the pawn.
You're right.
Like, look at white's position is so solid, and he's just got this sort of free hand to attack black's weaknesses.
Yeah.
So I don't love that move d4.
No, d4 looks to be a mistake. So knight c3 could be a good move here. And now, okay, so what does black play? You kind of want to go pawn to c6 at some stage, but...
I mean, it's hard to imagine him doing anything other than e takes d5, right? I mean, moves like knight takes d5. Oh, it's been played.
Yeah.
Is white thinking now?
White's thinking about what to play. Knight c3 has been played.
Yeah.
So now it's black's move. This is why I kind of don't like this pawn on a5 now, because the problem we're all seeing is in this last line after d4, knight b5.
Yeah.
I'd love to go a6.
The knight has an amazing outpost on b5.
It's a very good square. So the move a3 here. I'm wondering if Richard should have bothered playing a5. I mean, he played a5 extremely quickly, and we've seen him play this move a number of times.
Yeah, if he doesn't play it though, I mean, white plays b4 and eventually kicks that knight from c6, bishop b2. It's not like a3 is not just meant to provoke a5. It's a good move on its own terms.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if black takes on c4 now, then you'll always take with the queen. Taking with the pawn again gives black a lot of play after e5. And so I think you always take with the queen on c4 here. Now this could be a little bit uncomfortable for black.
Yeah, this looks just like a very bad English opening, doesn't it?
Again, you want your pawn back on f7.
Yes, you want. So, well, even if your pawn wasn't back on f7, you would still be worse here.
Yeah, I mean,
because you would need your pawn on f7, your pawn on e5 to develop your light squared bishop. You'd be wasting a tempo on that. So,
I mean, what about? Okay, Irene, I'm just still going to try to play my e5 move at some stage. Not easy to play at the moment. Let's just see if I play some setup with a5, king h8, e5. And queen e8. I mean, I agree that white's probably better here, actually. Maybe it's not worth watching. Sorry?
Knight g5 is an interesting move. I was thinking about that.
Trying to punish me immediately.
Yeah, so, I mean, I can at least ruin your structure. I don't know. You have to make a move like...
Looks good, yeah. It looks good.
Like queen d7 or something.
No, it looks horrible. I don't like this. So we'll just see if anything's been played. Well, Richard Report is now thinking about how to cope with this knight c3 move. So actually white's set up. I said queen c2 looks a bit strange, but maybe actually
looks like I like white's position.
Yeah,
I think black is going to suffer in this game.
Yeah, sure. And well, black needs to find a very good plan here.
Because white's moves are just obvious. He's going to play bishop f4.
Yeah.
Maybe knight b5, put a rook on the c file. He could even use the d4 square sometimes. I mean, the knight on c6 looks kind of misplaced, but. Yeah,
so this is maybe not a great square enough.
I just don't really believe in black's position.
What about king h8 here, trying to put my bishop on g8? I don't like that either. I want to go bishop e6, bishop g8, and d4 maybe. It's just I'm trying to think of some way black can play this position.
Maybe knight b5. It's a nice square. I'm coming in here right away.
Just it's worth pointing out the problem with bishop e6 here.
I think knight g5.
Knight g5 is very annoying. So
you have to go back.
I want to go king h8 to put my bishop on g8 after knight g5, but. Yeah, I think white's better here. White's got a very pleasant position. So maybe we'll see if Rich can come up with some kind of interesting plan here, because Rich is a very interesting player, but he's going to have to think of something very unique here to not get a considerably worse position. Yeah,
because I mean, when you could just compare these two positions, white has everything so solid. Not a single weakness that you can attack, right, Simon?
That's right.
And even though they're only on the first 3 rows, black's pawns can't easily advance to the 4th rank, right? You can't go f4. D4 is a problematic move. You don't have a4. So you're not really able to increase your space advantage. And meanwhile, it turns out the space, just kind of, you have some weak squares in your position. b5, e5.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. Yeah, I think white just seems to be better here. Well, let's have a look at the board free game now, shall we? So this is session. And we'll have a look at this game very soon. We're just going to have a very short break now, just for 5 minutes, and we'll be back in a second. So please just come back in 5 minutes or so, and then we're moving straight to this very exciting encounter on board free between Monsession and Ivanchuk. So please keep tuned for that, and we'll see you very shortly.